Episode 9, Consequences. Who are your guests, Vashvi?
Oh, I'm sorry. Allow me to introduce everyone.
The Devadasi turned to us and smiled, slightly embarrassed.
This is Mr. Amrit Dubé.
With a small bow, she turned to face him.
These are new visitors to the temple. I was telling them about our great Devi.
I looked at the stranger and our eyes met. Vashvi, how are things going at the temple? His deep, gentle, and melodic voice complimented his unusual appearance perfectly. Couldn't help but observe him. He was tall, slender, with delicate features, his skin dark, his eyes were light in color. An interesting combination. What caste could he belong to? I can't really ask him directly. I guess I'll have to ask Vashvi. She looked at him openly and attentively with a hint of shyness. The man returned his attention to me. What about you?
My name is Amala Khan. I'm here for work, and so are my colleagues.
Amrit greeted everyone. I take it you're interested in Kala Shaktism.
I find the denomination interesting. I'd like to learn more about the intricacies in order to understand it better. The philosophy and ideas of Kala Shaktism seem intriguing.
That's great to hear. You've definitely come to the right place. Do you come here often? No, work keeps me very busy, but whenever I have a moment, I come here to make offerings to the goddess and talk with Vakshni.
I hope we're not bothering you.
He shook his head. Not at all. I have some time to talk, maybe even answer a couple of questions.
Questions?
You're interested in Shakti in the guise of Kali, aren't you? There's a lot of interesting facts and details. This is a rather intriguing topic.
I'll ask you a few questions. My colleagues and I would be interested in asking you a few questions about Kali.
Well, I'm at your disposal, but I only have a few minutes.
What rituals are associated with Kali? As far as I know, there are both blood rituals and regular ones.
That's right, it depends on the stage of the tantric path. There are 7 in total. Each stage has its own rituals and its own spiritual goal.
How do left and right paths fit into that?
The left or right hand path have dark and forbidden practices, or moderate and peaceful ones. For example, flower offerings, ritual dances, sacred text reading are Dakshin Akara, the right-hand path. This is the 4th stage of the tantric path. Dark tantrism is part of the left-hand path, Vamakchara, and involves the sacrifice of living creatures, drinking wine, eating meat. Not all of the left-hand path consist of dark practices, but it allows them. This is the 5th stage of the path.
I remember reading about this in the original text I have stolen. It said that the Vamachara, the left-hand path, is a true path of Kala Shaktism. And in the secret ritual of Panchatattva, one must actually eat meat and have sex. What kind of goddess is Kali? Kali is known as the goddess of time and destruction, but is she really?
To a degree. But you need to look deeper. Destruction is not about death or suffering, but rather about rebirth and reinvention. Kali dispels illusions and ignorance, purifies the mind, teaches that death is an unavoidable part of the journey.
Is Kali good or evil? As far as I know, this is a rather controversial topic. Different people perceive Kali in different ways.
Yes, and you will be mistaken if you say that Kali is absolute evil and cruelty. Many-faced goddess shows the world from different angles. She teaches to accept death, destroys prejudice. When Kali is on her, she is kind. When she is not, she is ferocious. The goddess is cruel only to those who fear death. Even if, just for a few minutes, it was a pleasure to be your guide through the world of Shaktism.
Thank you for your time. It was fascinating. I knew most of this already, but I hope Killian and Lima found it interesting.
Well, I must go now.
Shall I walk you out? You need...
Thank you. I'll go by myself.
But...
Vashfi, I'll go by myself. Mr. Dubé nodded us goodbye and left the temple hall. Lima and Killian started talking about something.
Amrit seemed like an interesting person, too bad he only had a few minutes to spare. I would have liked to have learned a little bit more about him. Maybe I should catch up with him. I still have time.
Why not? I turned to my colleagues.
Please wait for me here. I just need to leave for a few moments.
Amala, where are you going?
Leaving the question unanswered, I followed Amrit into the other hall. Killian returned his conversation with Lima. Mr. Dubé.
He turned around, a little surprised when he heard me. Amala, do you have some more questions?
Yes. You seem very knowledgeable person, especially when it comes to Hinduism. I don't want to be rude, but maybe could we count on your help in the event of an emergency?
What kind of help?
Information, mostly. Are you integrated in the local culture?
He smirked and nodded. Consider me an advocate for this culture.
So may I contact you if needed?
He remained silent a few moments, his serious gaze fixed on my face. You may.
How will I be able to find you?
Ask Vashfi. She'll tell you everything. I really must go, Amala.
I just nodded, and he smiled at me.
His smile quickly disappeared from his face, and he turned around and continued walking.
He piqued your interest. You secured his help. I returned to the first hall and found the Devase. Who is he? He is a high-ranking and well-educated person, a member of a respected family in Calcutta. Sometimes he visits our temple and makes very large offerings to the goddess. Mr. Dubé is always polite and courteous, and he also takes care of the temple and helps us. Vashvi talks about him with such passion. You respect him very much, don't you? How could I not? He is a wonderful person. I wonder if she has feelings for him.
Yes. Approach the subject carefully.
Yes, he seems rather sophisticated. It's clear that he doesn't come from a humble background. Yes, a very good upbringing is evident right away. You seem to definitely appreciate it. Well, I had the impression that you might like him.
I thought I was supposed to be subtle.
Ah, you mean that?
She paused for a moment, then began to fiddle with the golden bracelets on her wrist.
A blush appeared on her cheeks. You shouldn't bring this up while in the temple of the great Kali. And I'm not even supposed to think about such things.
Why? Literally making love is supposed to, be one of Kali's things.
I took a step closer to the young woman and whispered quietly to her. Yes, but you can't control your heart.
She paused, her gaze falling to the ground.
You are very perceptive, Amala. You have the energy of a reasonable and honest person. I don't want to lie to you. When I see Mr. Amrit, my heart starts to flutter. No matter how much I scold myself because of this, it's all in vain. You're right, you can't control your heart. I smiled, looking at the sweet Devastae, who was so movingly in love. And does he know about it? Amrit, I mean. Oh, no way. My soul and heart are given to Shakti, and I cannot belong to anyone else. Please keep it a secret. I can be punished even for just thinking about it. Of course. I won't tell anyone. She gave me a grateful glance from beneath her thick eyelashes. She decided to trust you. Amala. Vashvi and I turned to his voice. Are we done here? I think so. Alright then, let's go. It's dinner time and we still have things to do. What sort of things? Rose and I agreed to meet and discuss the results of this investigation. I nodded and we said goodbye to Vashvi. Agreed to visit her again and then left the temple. Lima headed for the road to hail a taxi for us. Killian slowed down, suggesting that I do the same. I could tell from his expression that he wanted to talk. Amala, let's clear something up. Last time, we didn't get to talk about what happened at the Kahan's house. Yeah. I don't want it to affect our work in any way. I've been thinking about this a lot. I believe we should just concentrate on our task. I'm sorry I lost control back then. Now, I have a clear head. I realize how reckless I was. You were not the only one. I also wanted what we did. You're probably right. We shouldn't get distracted from our work. Let's just be friends. Why am I going to pay 5 diamonds for that? I'm only interested in a professional relationship. Let's leave everything as it is. I'm going to select 5 diamond choice. Like, I don't understand why we're selecting to be friends. It's weird. I enjoy working with you, and I like you as a person. So, what do you think? He smiled, giving me a warm look. Yes, that's a great idea. I'm glad we got this sorted out right away. I smiled at him, and then we caught up with Lima. You decided to remain for— I don't understand why I paid 5 diamonds for this. Like, was there no relationship option with him, or what? A short while after, we were rushing to the meeting with our team leader. Mr. Rose went to the market today with the guide, right? Yes. I wonder what he found out. I'm curious as to what we will say to him. What little information we got today is confusing. Why? We haven't learned anything specific, only that blood rituals are always associated with Kali. Kali only brings destruction. Our killer follows the left-hand path. They're not always associated with her. The killer follows the left-hand path. Vamachara involves sacrifices and blood rituals. The killer, who's making sacrifices to the goddess, is clearly guided by the dark tantras. Yes, that seems pretty clear. By the time we arrived, I was feeling very sweaty, especially after spending time in the stuffy temple and walking under the midday sun. Besides, it was hot in the taxi too. I had some time to spare before the meeting, and I wanted to change. The prospect of having to put up with Rose while my clothes stuck to my back was unappealing. After letting the others know, I went to the nearest clothing store. Spring dress. Gorgeous dress. Lightweight dress. Hold on. So this is spring. Looks nice, okay. Gorgeous dress. Like we're dressing to impress Rose. I mean, at least we get to change into something nice, right? Alright, let's just go with lightweight dress. Looks nice either way. I should do my hair too. It looks like I have some kind of nest on my head. Yeah, because that's not a nest. Pigtails. Long hair. Cute hairstyle. Why do they keep charging for hairstyles we already own? I'm gonna go with cute hairstyle. Finally, we all gathered together, including Ratan Vaish at the cafe. Our food arrived at the table, and we were able to start discussing our findings over a nice dinner. So, Miss Khan, what did you learn today? Killian intervened. We were at... Are you Miss Khan? Don't worry, boys, I got this. Amala, I'm waiting. Killian and Lima exchanged a slightly surprised look. Raton stared pointedly at the team leader without saying a word. Someone's clearly not in a good mood if he blew up even at Lightwood. I sighed heavily, trying my best to remain calm. We figured out the killer's ideology. This will make it easier for us to predict his actions or even identify him among suspects. That would be useful if we had any suspects at all.
It's not too late. We can find out about local sects or the most fervent followers of Kali.
And what do you plan to do next? I'll make use of helpful acquaintance. I'll learn about the sects. I'll inquire about previous murders of this nature. Local sects is, for whatever reason, in a very large, bold text. Killing is right. Now we can focus on our search on the Shaktism sects. I don't think it will take long to get some results. Mr. Rose, may I ask about what you learned today? Mr. Vaish and I interviewed local vendors.
Amir was believed to be a fraud. He frequently sold plain glass instead of real gems. He also charged higher prices than other merchants.
What a shame. He seemed honest.
You shouldn't feel sad. Human greed is nothing out of the ordinary. A strange picture is starting to emerge. A murderer, a terminally ill child, and a greedy liar. I can't say there isn't some sort of pattern here.
It's definitely done on purpose. Our killer thinks he's some kind of punisher. But why punish a child who's terminally ill? That's the one thing that doesn't add up. To be honest, I find it all quite bizarre. I don't know what to think, especially after my visions. Bahut's reciting tantras in honor of Kali, the killer following the path of Vamachara and praising the Dark Mother. I don't think I'm going insane anymore, but maybe Santa is right and I can see a little more than everyone else. Do you have any thoughts, Miss Khan? Why don't you share with us?
Fine. You get details, buddy.
It may seem absurd, but I think it's all connected. I think the killer follows the dark tantras and sacrifices people by cutting off their heads, and leaves the ritual symbol on every corpse. The victims were guilty of something, in one way or another, all except for the child. I took a deep breath and then continued. Don't laugh at me, but I think there's something supernatural about this. I'm haunted by a strange, ominous feeling. My colleagues looked at each other.
A, premonition?
Yes, in fact. I knew that the killer worshipped Kali long before I thought about this theory and tied up all the loose ends. I dreamed about her. Are you implying that you arrived at the conclusion based on intuition? It's difficult for me to put my thoughts into words. All I know is where to start digging. It's like I can feel it.
Nobody laughed at me. My colleagues didn't look like they believed me right away, but their faces remained serious. There is nothing strange about that. Intuition is not magic, it is active work of our subconscious. It processes information and links details faster than we can notice. This is how a premonition is formed.
Rose grimaced, shaking his head. Everyone but Rose appreciated your thoughts. That's because Rose is a piece of work. Now this is just absurd. Do you hear yourself, Amala? What nonsense are you spewing? How can you claim to be a professional and then come up with such a load of bollocks? Rose was now being blatantly rude, but no one dared to say anything. There it is. That's the reason why women can't be trusted to do serious work. Ridiculous superstitions, belief in supernatural, similar nonsense. Why should we listen to this tosh and waste our time? Lima abruptly rose from the table, surprising everyone. How can you say that? Does that mean I'm not worthy of my job? Do you believe in the nonsense that Miss Khan just told us?
Mr. Rose, you're overreacting. Calm down.
Are you defending her, Captain Lightwood? Do you believe in dark energy and premonitions?
I simply believe in mutual respect.
Right. I don't want to be a part of a team where this is no such thing as respect. Focus on yourself. Support Lima. I understand why she's standing up, so I'm gonna support her. I agree with you, this is too much. We deserve to be treated better. And we deserve better than the quality of your work.
Emmett!
Raton watched us in silence. Raton is a very calm man, because I know there's a storm brewing inside of him. I'm not going to put up with this any longer. Let's get out of here. And you... I shot a quick glance at Rose, who flushed with anger. You're so concerned about being professional, but there's not an ounce of professionalism in you. I hope you have enough skills to invest this case on your own. Him and I left the cafe without looking back. Maybe he'll hire some men, since that still exists in this timeline. I can't believe it. What came over him? Why did he tell us all that? Did we do such a bad job? He blew up at us not because of our work, but because of his own attitude and prejudices. I understand, but is this really the time and place to fight? I don't know what's going through his head, Lima. She shook her head, disappointed. How can we keep working with him? That's not going to be easy. I don't know, but it'll all work out somehow. Fine. I'm not going to worry myself sick. I already have a headache. See you later, Amala. Don't think about it too much, either. Rose isn't worth your grief. Yeah, thank you. We said goodbye. I took a walk down the street, attempting to calm down. Now I was confronted with a dilemma. What was going to happen next? Were we going to continue working together like this, or was this going to be some sort of turning point? What if he lodges a complaint and they send me home? Or what if I get suspended from the case and forced to stay in Calcutta without a job until we are sent back home? No, it can't be. I need to see Kieran as soon as possible. Here or at home, it doesn't really matter. As I approached the house, I considered what I was going to do before going to bed. Maybe read the stolen book. New information will distract me from this mess. Wait, where did I put it? I can't remember where I left it. Where was the last time I saw the book? I believe that you dropped it in the hallway.
A delicious, carefully guarded treat. What will your flesh taste like?
Oh my god, I dropped it after the Bahoot attacked me. I rushed into the house. Taking off up the stairs, I ended up on the hallway on the second floor. I quickly checked all the corners as well as under the chairs and tables. The book was nowhere to be found. Panic gripped me from head to toe. No. I couldn't have lost it. Maybe I put it somewhere in the room, but forgot where. There were footsteps behind me. I turned around and saw Miss Kahan standing in the front of me. Amala, you're late. You didn't make it in time for dinner. Shall I call Sana to set the table for you? No, it's okay. I've already had dinner with my colleagues. You look worried. Did something happen at work? Not really. I lost something. You did. What was it? My favorite book. She narrowed her eyes slightly, looking around briefly, and then shrugged. I don't know, my dear. Sana didn't find anything while cleaning. What kind of book is it? I answered vaguely. It doesn't matter anymore. A thought flashed through my mind. Miss Kahan, may I ask you something? Do you know anything about the sex practicing Shaktism in Calcutta? A choice you made in the past will affect you. Why are you asking? I was just wondering. I don't know. There are a lot of people living in Calcutta. I am sure there are some crazy people among them. She seemed very uncomfortable answering my question. Okay, thanks. Priyanka stared at me as I left the hallway. I didn't find the book in my room either. It was clear I had lost it. Or Santa has it after my whole thing. The hall was filled with the screams.
Even the chorus of voices chanting a single name could not drown out his heart-wrenching wail of pain. May the fire purify your body and soul. May the water rinse you of your atrocities. The man dressed in red moved his arms as a conductor would, and the people in the black cloaks surrounding him continued to chant the mantra. He directed them like an orchestra. Sacrifice in the name of Dasa Mahavidya. Sacrifice in the name of the great Kali, the most powerful among you. A tortured man was dragged to the center of the hall. He looked frightened, bruised, and there was a primal horror in his eyes. Wait, it's Emmett? Ho 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 ho! No, no, no! He was writhing, but too many pairs of hands were restraining him. There was no way out. You are the highest knowledge, as well as great delusion, great reason, and contemplation. Listen, it's Emmett. He's gonna curse everyone. The man screamed as he inhaled more air into his lungs. To hell with you. All of you, piss off, disappear, die. Great goddess and great demoness, accept this gift. The stranger produced a ritual dagger, the blade of which had shed the blood of many others. Emmett finally realized that these were the last moments of his life. A short swing, the glint of a dagger, a moment's pain, a metallic taste in the mouth, and then darkness. I sat up in my bed, startled. My ears were filled with the sound of my own heartbeat, and I breathed quickly and raggedly. My heart thumped in my chest with tears. I were standing in the hall of the dreadful temple as their victim. My back, neck were covered in sweat. My hair was unpleasantly plastered to my forehead. Oh my God. I rubbed my eyes, trying to pull myself together. Such dreams exhausted and tormented me, and instead of rest, they brought anxiety. What did I dream about? I had hardly gotten out of bed when I heard a loud and frantic knock at my door. Miss Conn, please get up. All of your colleagues have come here to see you. Oh no, I have a really bad feeling about this. I quickly washed up and left my room. When I got down to the first floor, Lima, Killian, and Rattan were already there. They gave me a troubled look. That's because karma got to him. I frowned. What's going on? Why am I so worried? The room was deafeningly quiet. Killian stepped forward. Amala, we have some dreadful news. At dawn today, the local police found another ritual murder site. Emmett Rose has been murdered. It's too bad we didn't look at him and go, it's about Rose, isn't it? I know I shouldn't be laughing, but karma. 1 loyalty, 4 respect, 2 rage of goddess, 2 kindness of goddess, 10 diamonds. Let's get those 3. Alright, thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down to the description of the video and check out links for supporting the channel, the community, and becoming a bigger part of the community. Without further ado, let me know your thoughts down below. Just TLDR, small message here. I'm a firm believer of karma. Karma is something that I've literally and figuratively believed in since I was a wee boy. And it's something that I continue to believe in more so than any religious figure and God and anything else. I believe in karma more than any of it because I've seen it firsthand knowledge. So that's why I just giggled at Emmett, because the guy is, he doesn't respect people and everything else. Though it does make me suspect Rattan, though. In different cultures, people handled things differently. And Emmett is a person that, given, let's be honest here, 9 chapters or episodes, of trying to change himself and trying to well, I don't want to say trying to change it, trying to make him change, trying to make him respect others that deserve respect, that are putting in more work and whatnot than him. He refused to change, and karma befell the guy. He is, in a way, a sinner in and of itself, especially if you look at some of the things we've read over the course of, 8+ chapters. He is, in and of itself, someone who fell into the category of those three people. But they are correct that the one loose thread in all of this is the terminally ill child. That is one thing that I don't understand, unless there's a possibility that the terminally ill child was not terminally ill. That's the only thing I can think of, right? We would need proof, much like we looked for proof in the other two victims. We would need proof for him being some way wrong, or maybe there was an accident that triggered all this. I don't know. Or maybe they were the parent or associated with the child. I don't know. Right? I don't really know. Because in a way, it is doing a good service and whatnot for giving someone dignity in a swift, clean death versus, suffering. Literally, that's what I'll say on that, and I say that because of what I'm going through. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Again, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Catch y'all later. Peace out.